Good evening, my GameStop investors. What a great day to be alive, huh? So today was a day that we've all been waiting for years and years and years. And it was Ryan Cohen finally speaking with the media. Even willing to take questions about the strategy of GameStop and, restoring the faith in some of these retail investors. I mean, we're pretty dedicated. We signed on for this, this diamond-handed journey a long time ago, years and years and years ago. But to see it all play out, like in real time, you knew days like this were going to come. Where Ryan comes out and Ryan's extremely bullish about the investment and the strategy and where we're headed. And, the telltale signs for me personally was just knowing that GameStop investors will be given a premium. And what do I mean by that? It's the business itself, right? GameStop, the company, smaller, nimble, and profitable moving forward. Every quarter profitable. These are all characteristics of a company that can be added to the S&P 500. Whether deploying capital or not, the 4% that you get back on marketable securities is going to generate around $90 million a quarter on top of being operationally profitable. So to make all that cash over time, it compounds and it's a never-ending snowball. You just got to be smart with it, right? You can't have a high cash burn rate. Can't do that. So that's what Ryan's talking about when he's saying just got to be careful how we deploy it, what we do. Even buying Bitcoin, $500 million in Bitcoin. I know people frown upon it, like these Bitcoiners out here. They don't understand that $500 million is equivalent to GameStop's actual plant and property, like all their physical assets themselves, of buildings. So they've backed it, the inventory backing, asset backing, I should say, not inventory backing, but asset backing. So GameStop making higher profit margins, getting to the card world, that's great. It's all one factor, right? The legacy itself. But where GameStop's headed after that is what people need to pay attention to. And we've always said that, people call it speculative, but I don't. It's thought out. It's a process for Ryan where he has the ability to take on risk if he'd like to, and or just keep on walking the fine line until it actually comes, the opportunities come his way. So as a GameStop investor, I'm very excited about what happened today. The best part for me personally, and you guys are all going to know this, a lot of you guys, and I don't care who doesn't know this, is Ryan breaking his character. He broke his mold. And because he is the CEO, and because he is the chairman of the board, and because he has his own capital deployed, he can speak frankly. He can say it however he wants. And, he said it's a fucking mess, is what he said. And that's my CEO. It's my guy who understands. And he tells it to you plain as day. He says it's private equity. It's private equity. And I had been talking about this for years and hitting the book so hard and trying to understand it from every angle and how it's done. How I invented a damn documentary series called Connect the Dots, 92 parts, just to show you how they leverage or influence and these outcomes. And the more you know about private equity and the more you understand it, not just to be so dismissive, yeah, of course, it's greed, it's corporate greed, it's 2 and 20, it's more than that. And that's what I've always told you guys. It's more than that because you need to know how it acts, how it thinks. So then you'll have a reaction to the way you invest. A lot of the times these guys who've been invested into companies like AMC or Bed Bath & Beyond or Big Lots or any other play that's in front of you, even like Kohl's right now, they're trying to understand why companies want to go bankrupt or why companies are stretched so thin and willing to dilute their shareholders, and they play the part. You get CEOs who play the part, but they don't put in their own capital. I think this is why it's so different for GameStop, because there's no parts to play here. The price is at an all-time great price. Entry is amazing. $23. All the insiders are buying at these prices. It also is the total that Roy and Kitty might have, but if you heard Ryan Cohen, he spoke to me today. Not only did he mimic a lot of the things that I've been saying for the last 5 years, once you figure out how this is done and why everyone's against GameStop. And I've always said, why are you guys so mad? Like, what pisses you off more? I've never had more hate mail, more problems in my life than when I started talking about private equity and the influence it has on publicly traded companies. And the amount of people that have just dismissed it and or attacked me for it. I remember it all, and I will forever, because even today, I've always had this playful, Tony De Niro, Morantz, what are you guys going to say about the stock? And he right away, he's so intelligent about the investment. And you know what, Tony? You're the biggest fanboy tonight, right? You jump onto the bandwagon and I'm in this investment as an investor. You're not an investor, you're a day trader, right? You're a swing trader. You're not an investor. You're not here for what we are here for. And you will be now, because you saw the video and it played to your heartstrings. But here's my problem, Tony. You're reviewing the video, and then you say, okay, that's a good part to cut off, and you don't even review the fact that Ryan said it. Ryan said, short my stock. You private equity guys are the problem, and guess what? Come get it. And he said that in a roundabout way. I'm paraphrasing, but he's not afraid of you short sellers, and he's sure as hell not afraid of private equity, because he's here to fight. He's a retail investor, and it didn't take roaring kitty and memes like people think it did. All these guys out here pushing one narrative. They'll talk Ken Griffin, and then they'll talk market manipulation, and then they'll talk roaring kitty. And I've always said it the other way around. I've always talked about Ryan Cohen and him being that activist investor to make a difference in this investment. Fundamentally, that's the reason why I'm invested. The fundamentals are right, and the leadership is right. And when you have those two, that combination, I don't need to see a tweet. I don't need to read a Superstock post, Reddit, none of that. I know exactly what I'm looking at. Guys, let me tell you, I'm going to go on about this a little longer too, about GameStop. GameStop has a unique position because of us, the retail investor. And it was like proof to concept. It was proven with the PSA partnership. People don't know how valuable that partnership is. You've redesigned the industry of cards, and GameStop's at the forefront of it. But it's not because GameStop is just a brand. It's the loyalty of the customer, the investor, us. You ask yourself, when GameStop partners up with anyone or anything, is it going to be this transformational, where it's $1 billion swing, where and I'm talking about billions of dollars. GameStop's going to be profitable, $500 million this year, $1 billion next year. That's what they're going to do from the legacy business. And everyone's quick to dismiss GameStop as the company itself, and you're just worried about, this capital being deployed. Don't worry about that yet. Pay attention to the company in front of you. They're showing you the playbook. They're showing you the business model that you can scale off of. And like when it was Warren Buffett, and they come out and they get into See's Candy, or they get into Geico, or they start doing AMX deals and Coke deals. Next thing you know, those brands are synonymous with, Berkshire Hathaway investors. Well, what's synonymous right now with GameStop investors? Pokemon cards, sports cards, PSA graded cards, collectibles. That's going hand in hand with us, because remember, once you put your identity and your brand next to us, you might just propel, you might just rocket. And Nat Turner's finding that out, right? And everyone's finding that out. So when GameStop does deploy their $10 billion, I say 10, that it's going on its way to 10, they're still raising capital from private investors, guys. There's people still here that understand who Ryan is and what he knows and the team he surrounds himself with. The guy's 30-something, guys. Okay, 39 years old, 38 years old, I don't know. I just know he's young enough and rich enough and smart enough to make decisions that are going to benefit you as a shareholder. And he's in it. His time horizon is a lot longer than others. And he said it might not align with some people because of the amount of money involved, but he was up $2 billion and didn't take it. He was quick to get out of Bed Bath & Beyond, and he took that money out of there, and he ran because he saw private equity and what they can do. He's still probably young and naive at the time. He's not right now. And neither are you. You're a young, crafted machine, but what Ryan said and what Tony De Niro spoke over was private equity manipulates these outcomes. They made a bet. The whole world made a bet against GameStop, and he was the retail investor to make the bet against them. And now he's doing the job. And I support him. I'm going to roll with you, Ryan. I'm telling you now, man, There's no way anybody can tell me that you don't watch or you don't understand what we're doing when it comes to private equity and putting the highlights on it. But my pledge to you, Ryan, and I've been doing this for a while now, is I'm going to wake up every day and I'm going to make sure that people know your name and they hear about GameStop. They educate themselves, they download the app, PSA graded cards. I don't care what we talk about, we're going to talk GameStop. I'm doing a giveaway at the end of this month. I'm going to be heading out of town, doing a giveaway to give away all the stuff from GameStop. Going to download the app, going to talk it out with PSA graded cards, going to talk it out with sports cards, going to talk about you as a person, as a man, and this investment. So I'm going to keep doing that till the day I die, Ryan. So I won't be selling my shares. I won't. I know you didn't sell when you were worth $2 billion on it. Didn't matter. You know, my time horizon is better than most because I don't need the money. I'm just in it because it makes me happy. I like the stock. And I really liked the interview today because I felt so vindicated to a point. I've been out here studying when no one's awake and sleepless nights, and tonight I actually feel like I could sleep a little better. Knowing that my CEO is not oblivious to the things that interfere with the value that is this company. And he said, who cares? Who cares what Wall Street wants to put value on? No, these guys all want to undervalue the company, even now. You know, I don't think you guys heard it, right? Tony, you were out there saying, are you saying it's just worth what it's worth? That's not what he said. He said eventually Wall Street will get it right because the stock will fix itself. What he said was, I'm not scared of short sellers. And I knew that. I knew that when he was in it and they were still attacking him and destroying him. But he's not here to manipulate you as an investor. He's here to ride with you. He's here to tell you that, hey, we're going to be here for a while. And a while for me, well, that just might be this lifetime. Like I said, I'm extremely excited tonight. I know you are too. The last part about this. The deployment of funds. He clearly stated when he wants to deploy the cash. So for anyone out there that keeps harping on GameStop and what they're going to do, he's not going to buy at this all-time high on the market. The market averages a 5x on book value per share, per company on average. Everyone's over 5x. That's the most expensive market in the history of the stock market. Additionally, with all of that cash, when he does deploy it, he's going to get graded on it. He's going to get graded on his investments that he makes elsewhere. That's what holding companies are. The GameStop Corporation is a holding company. They're going to hold controlling stakes in publicly traded companies and privately traded companies. It doesn't matter. Or privately owned companies, I should say, not traded. But Ryan Cohen is going to do just that. They're going to buy when it's low. They're going to buy what's necessary. And they're going to capitalize on those investments. It's not transitioning your company per se. It's not giving your company another identity and product. I think people are so fixated on what's GameStop going to do. And they're thinking about brick and mortar company rather than thinking about what is Ryan going to do. Ryan's our chief investment officer. He has $9 billion at his disposal. And he's really intelligent about investing. He's overly cautious, which I'm fine with. I just know we can't lose. We can't lose because we have you, we got me, and the rest of the crew that just grinds this out every day. So, yeah, when they do deploy, I'll give you an example of how it's going to happen, okay? Market's going to get corrected. I don't know when. I don't know what's going to happen with interest rates. I don't know what the administration wants to do. It doesn't matter. You go into these cycles, like you said, every 5 to 10 years, there's a cycle. In this case, our cycle got stretched out because of COVID. But we're at that 15-year mark from the greater financial crisis. And you're in that cycle. So once you get down in the dump and you start seeing discounts on things that you want to buy, you might see something that you want to buy at a very low price. I give you the example. You come in and you're buying Alibaba at $150 when the all-time high is $300. you're still 50% from their all-time high. But you're buying it at $150. Do you know what happens? It goes up 100% on your investment. And if you invested $2 billion, $1 billion, wouldn't matter. You're going to make $1 billion on profit. And that hits the bottom line. So instead of people just looking at, hey, GameStop made $400 million this year operationally. Yeah, that's cool. $400 million is cool. Probably might get you a $20 billion market cap. I mean, I see Palantir with a $350 billion market cap, and they sell $500 million worth, net profit. That's it. GameStop will be doing that real soon. And are they going to be worth $350 billion? Probably not. But when GameStop starts putting cash out there, and they can double up on that cash or have a good significant return, 30 to 40 to 50% on it, everybody's going to have to take notice. And it's going to be, hey, GameStop made $1 billion this quarter. GameStop made $1 billion this quarter. GameStop starts making $2, $3, $4 billion off of that billion in cash. It's a whole nother identity. And I only know this because I've seen companies pay out dividends or do share buybacks with their cash to inflate the existing officers or the CEO or the creators of the company. They want to inflate their value. They all do it. Nvidia's doing it right now. But there's going to be a time when you don't have to deploy your cash within your own company. You get to go capitalize on the things that they now are giving you at a discount. GameStop right now is the discount. This is why Ryan's been deploying his own cash into the company himself. Over the last 2 years, he's invested over $20 million himself. I don't know of another CEO doing that right now. Certainly not one that doesn't get paid at all. So, thank you, Ryan, for the interviews. Thank you guys for the drive home. I'm extremely excited, but you know what? I'm going to stay on the positive side of it all. I'm not going to sit here and expect apologies from the Meltdown or from Hannah Reloaded or Platinum Sparkles, Amy the Trader, Tony De Niro, everybody who's ever said that I was wrong about private equity. Nope. I know that Martin Scarelli's not going to call me tomorrow and be like, yo, Marantz, you were right. Nah. I let God judge me, not you. It's GameStop. Can't stop, won't stop, GameStop. When it's all said and done, you're going to be the number one deployer of capital yourself. The GameStop investor is going to be feared. And then everyone's going to want to partner with you. They're going to want to partner with Ryan because you know what? You got a legion. You got an army of investors that have money to spend. They're going to want this identity. Who would have thought? The whole world bent against it. Now the whole world wants to be it. Peace. I'll see you around, millionaires. Peace.